second skill that we're going to talk about are Barkleys, right? Named for the one and only Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was known as a player who would just catch the ball and begin to back down to the basket. And you don't have to be a big player like Barkley, I think, to use this. We actually last year at Cassidy worked on this every day in practice. We wanted to see our players, if they didn't have a wide open drive to the rim, we didn't want them to bail on their drives, but perhaps turn it into a different type of scoring opportunity. Let's watch a couple of examples of Barkleys from Villanova. Again, on the drive right here, there's not an immediate open attack, but instead of picking up his dribble, instead of forcing something very early, what he simply does is get his butt to the baseline and the ball in his outside hand, right? No, nothing open the drive, butt to the baseline, ball in his outside hand. Now, this is a Barkley situation. Even though right now he's in that pinch post area where he's about 8 or 10 feet away from the rim, right now the teammates keep great spacing, forcing the defense to stay honest. And right now with just smaller dribbles, but using body control, he's able to get to the rim and even finish over a defender who's a similar size. Great example of turning a Barkley into a score. Here again, same player. Now the Barkley comes from the top of the key. Right? Very, very different result, catch and shoot three, but it comes from the same offensive concept of Barkleys. On this catch right here in peak fake, he sees an open drive to the paint. And as he begins to drive the paint, again, he doesn't become wide open. The defender does a great job of cutting him off and walling up. Most of our players would just pick up the ball right here. But instead, he turns it into a Barkley. He keeps that inside shoulder engaged in the center chest of the defender, keeping the ball in his outside hand. And as he gets to the rim with nothing open, because he combined his Barkley with a stride stop, now it is very simple for him to pivot and find open teammates. Great job of relocating there by Villanova. Let's watch another example of a Barkley. All right, again, this is the point guard from Villanova in all three of these clips. Does not have to be your biggest player. Now, because he's gotten a couple of buckets and over the course of the season has done a good job with his Barkleys, now he's drawing a little more defensive attention. You can see three coming over to help right here. But because he does a great job of controlling the ball, what Villanova does, and I think we could all do this, is an action on the weak side when we go into a Barkley on the strong side. You'll see right here that as the Barkley is going on, Villanova on the backside is going to a hammer action, which is basically a fade screen on the backside. But right now, great spacing by these two offensive players keeps these two defenders locked in. And because this defender knows that he's the offensive player is a threat to score from the Barkley, he stays tied to the paint, which isolates the backside. And that hammer action off of the Barkley leads to this wide open, big advantage catch and shoot three. Now, what I love about Barkleys is they are always useful. This is an example where Villanova is running one of their baseline out of bounds plays, and it doesn't work, right? We don't get an immediate bucket off of it. Instead of freaking out, instead of having to pass the ball back to the top and set up a new play or a new look, Villanova right here, because they've got four players outside the three-point line, immediately turns this into a Barkley. Butt to the baseline, ball in his outside hand. And off of this, again, we are sprinting to open spots. Barkleys with great spacing are going to lead to wide open shots. You'll see again, it's a simple exchange by Villanova on the backside, but because defenders don't always communicate, it leads to that wide open shot. You've got to get your best playmakers. You've got to get your best passers using Barkleys more often. This clip from Villanova is how even in transition, right? We hunt the paint, it's not there. Instead of just picking up his dribble or kicking it out, again, turns it into a Barkley to find a wide open catch and shoot three. And again, what I love about Barkley so much, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. The defense gets locked in. You'll see right here, every defender's eyes has got to honor the Barkley, so to speak. And because he's so close to the rim, and Villanova is no such a tough team, it sucks in the defense. And as they suck in the defense, that is why a little bit of a miscommunication by the defense leads to a wide open three. Coaches, stride stops and Barkleys are going to make your team better this season. Those are two very simple concepts that you can use to be more efficient and be more effective on offense as you go throughout the rest of the way.